Welcome to the Vex Robotics competition referee training videos designed for both referees and teams. This is Chapter 2, Before the Match. Before every match, there are 3 major jobs for the referees. 1, you need to make sure the field is set up correctly. 2, you need to make sure the robots are set up correctly. And 3, you need to make sure you're set up correctly. VRC changeup must be set up in a very specific orientation. This layout can be found in the game manual and is shown here. To prepare a changeup match, referees must verify the placement of all balls on the field, including preloads. It is very important that the color of each placed ball is correct, and that balls starting a match in a goal are in the correct location. Note that for this season, the Robot Skills Challenge uses a different ball layout than a normal changeup match. We'll discuss this and other Robot Skills Challenge specific content later in Chapter 10. Referees should also verify that all teams are connected to their respective driver interface located near each Alliance station. One important note about field setup is that there is a small allowable tolerance in both ball placement and goal dimensions. Ball placement at the beginning of the matches may vary by up to 1.5 inches, while the bottom openings of goals between the 2 lowest rings may vary by up to half an inch. Teams should design their robots and strategies with this possible variance in mind. This is a good time to remind teams and referees about Rule G9, which states that any concerns regarding game object starting positions should be raised with the head referee prior to the match. Team members should never adjust game objects or field elements themselves. Now, returning to point number 2, making sure robots are set up correctly. There are 2 things to check here. Per Rule G4, each robot must start the match in a volume smaller than 18 inches wide by 18 inches long by 18 inches tall. If a robot looks like it's extending out too far, use a sizing tool to measure them. However, only do this if it's fairly clear to you that they're too big. You won't have time to measure every robot before every match. Also, teams can request measurements of their opponents, but you do not have to grant this request. It's your call if you think a measurement is required. Usually, it is not. This is a good time to note that VRC Changeup has no restrictions on robot expansion once the match has started. Anything goes from that point on, provided that no other rules are violated in the process. Next, make sure that all robots have 2 license plates in accordance with R27. These plates must be on opposing sides of the robot, must be clearly visible and legible at all times, and must show the color that matches their alliance color for that match. Basically, it must be abundantly clear to referees at all times which color alliance the robot belongs to. If a robot does not meet these conditions and the team cannot fix it in a timely manner, the referee may ask them to sit this match out. New for this season, teams are allowed to create their own custom license plates, provided that they follow the same previously stated criteria. This means that teams are allowed to create plates made from 3D printed parts. Ignoring thickness, custom plates should still be at least the same length and width of a standard VRC license plate. Finally, at the start of a match, each robot must satisfy the requirements put forth by SG1. This means that they must be contacting their home zone and not contacting a field tile outside of their home zone. Robots are not allowed to start a match contacting another robot or any other ball besides their designated preload. This preload must be fully within the field perimeter and is not allowed to break the vertical projection of a goal. If a robot is not present for a match, then their preload ball will be placed by the head referee in one of the 2 possible locations specified by SG1. Once the field is set, referees should take their positions around the field. In the ideal situation, you would have 3 referees per match. The recommended position for the head referee is the center of the field near the autonomous line. The 2 scorekeeping referees should stand on opposing sides of the field between the alliance stations. However, this may vary depending on the event, as long as all referees can see all robot interaction and scoring. Referees should check to make sure all Drive team members are students. Adults are not allowed to be Drive team members, not even coaches in the Vex Robotics competition. That's it for Chapter 2. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out other chapters in this referee training series.